Hello, lovies. I know I'm about 30 seconds ahead of schedule. That's okay. Mark it on the calendar. Jen was early today. Hello, everyone in the chat room. Welcome to Roundtable number 2, The Origins of Angels. We'll see how far we get. I'm going to bring in our first guest and then explain to you where the boys are.
Hello.
How are you, love?
I'm okay. How are you? I just saw Dennis's message.
Yeah, so Rocco cannot join us today because he has a prior engagement. So we will miss him today. And our beloved brother Dennis is currently having internet issues, and we are manifesting they get corrected. So you get the ladies today.
Woohoo! It's ladies' night. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night.
So we'll see how far we can get with this. And it'll either be a short show or we'll take questions from the chat. We'll do something. I hope you guys are well and the weather's not too crazy where you are. Right now we're having cooler weather, but getting prepared for next week when it's in the hundreds. So,
well, we manifest a change in that. How's that?
Exactly. Yes. All right. Well, Origins of Angels, still a topic where there's not a whole lot of information to go on. It's really a matter of opinion and then coming up with questions to ask Spirit if we're on the right track or not. So, Nadia, did you do any more digging?
I did do digging, but this is always spirit led, so maybe it might take us away from certain things. I don't know if we want to get into the bad angels or how the Nephilims came, which we were talking about, or
well, I think it's coming, and if we start on that today, that's fine. And then next week, the boys can get involved as well. That's a subject that can continue. Of course, we do know that the Nephilim are the ones that were created from the fallen, the Watchers, and female humans. And there was one thing that I was trying to look into, and we were talking about the Watchers were the ones who taught mankind how to make weapons.
Yes.
But I've also read that the Nephilim were also teaching mankind how to make weapons. So I don't know if it's a different kind or they got upgrades.
I got enough.
Oh, you got notes and everything.
Huh? What was it?
I said you've got notes, your notes and everything.
Yeah, I actually dove really deep. They said that,
my phone.
Yeah, they said let's say Azazel. Well, let's start with the conspiracy. See, this is one that the more you study and you dig deeper or dive deeper, the more you have more questions, because in my mind, purity as angel, purity as source, purity, there is no negative. So where did the large scale conspiracy was when one said they wanted to sleep with women, they had lust in their minds.
Right.
Where did lust come from?
I looked into that too, and I don't know if it's because when they fell, they automatically,
believe it or not,
human emotions or human desires.
Yeah, but this happened actually before they fell. From one of my studies, they were the Watchers. The Watchers were there. Now, give me an understanding. The Watchers were there to help humans learn things. Now, the Watchers were not the fallen angels. Is that correct?
I've heard both.
I know. So then, okay, so they were not allowed. They knew it was a sin. They knew it was a sin, which is funny because they had rules. So they knew it was a sin. So he said he went to the headmaster, Samuelza.
Yeah.
And he is who turned into Satan. They said they had a conspiracy to sleep with women, and because the Watchers had temptations. Once they slept with the women, they gave them their secrets of astrology, astronomy, magic, and herbalisms.
Yeah, wasn't it a deal? You give us your women and we'll give you our secrets.
Yeah, well, that's how it happened. Now, Azazel came in and he taught them armory and how to make jewelry and cosmetics.
Yes.
So I mean, that's the when and then Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, told them that because of the Nephilim attacked animals, ate animals, humans, drank the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Archangel Gabriel said, "Let them have their own war to kill them to kill themselves off."
Right.
And then so this is the stuff that I was deep diving on that aspect.
Well, when I started getting into the Nephilim part, because you almost have to even study in the angels, good and bad, because that's where it takes you eventually. I was just curious to know, the old story, David and Goliath. If Goliath was a giant considered a Nephilim, why is he the only one ever mentioned? Because we knew that Goliath had brothers. We do know that. But why are there no other issues with giants anywhere else written that I know of, at least in the Christian Bible?
Well, that also brings you to ask if the Nephilims were removed during the flood, how is there still a giant?
I know. If they were supposedly wiped off because the world had gotten so corrupt. Is this? Hello, buddy.
Hey,
He made
it's
it.
good to be the king.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Are you in your cave today?
I am in my cave, but I'm overlooking my grease.
Oh, okay. All right.
You got grease behind you.
I know. It's a hard thing to get off, too.
It's all right.
Tied.
I guess Dennis didn't get the message. It's Blue Day. You're not wearing blue?
Blue Day, yes.
I got
I had the Blue Day yesterday.
Oh,
Where
okay.
were you then?
Well, we will consider the blue water behind you acceptable. So that's fine.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my God! I just realized. I guess we're wearing blue because it's the blue moon tonight.
Blue moon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did not plan it.
Yeah, we were starting to get into a little bit of the Nephilim part because, like I said, you almost have to when you start studying fallen angels and watchers and that kind of stuff, because that's what it led to. But we were just discussing if they were supposedly wiped out during the flood of Noah, then how did Goliath come along and why is he the only giant mentioned?
The only thing I could think of is there were some that were either in or had traveled to underground Middle Earth while the flood was going on.
I was kind of leaning towards that, so it wasn't a full cleansing?
No.
Okay, but let me ask you that. Since the Nephilim had all they wanted to do was eat, and destroy, wouldn't they do that to Middle Earth? Where are the rules there for them? Okay, we'll keep you in hiding here. But
well, maybe it depends on what section, because we understand that Middle Earth has multiple layers.
Right.
So maybe there's a section that just, I don't know, they found just kind of hole in the wall and stayed there until it was all over with. I mean, we don't really know enough.
Either that or they had escaped through a portal and then came back.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
You like my thinking, don't you?
I do like your thinking. Yeah. You got to think outside the box. Anything's possible.
Or in the cave.
Or outside the portal.
Yeah. All right. That's an interesting way. I just always found it funny that Goliath was mentioned, and we knew he had brothers, but it's nowhere else written that we know of.
Well, I mean, I was thinking, was he a Nephilim, the giant, or was he a Tartarian? I didn't know if he was considered a Nephilim. Weren't Tartarians also giants?
Yeah.
Hmm.
We're talking about a huge time difference there, though. Not that I don't know if it would make a difference or not. I guess we could pull cards to ask if Goliath was Nephilim. All we know is that he was the enemy of the people, and David came along to slay him, behead him.
Well, I
All
have a
right,
problem too.
go ahead. What's your
Oh,
opinion on it?
well, what did Goliath do to the people to make him an enemy of the people? Was it that's where they were before? That what was it? Was he taunting them? Was he stealing their women?
No, I
Does it
think he was just the champion of their army.
Well, yeah, he was a warrior in their army, and it almost kind of reminds me of like gladiator games, if so to speak. But
so that,
it was a territorial issue as well.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is it
Right.
because he he moved in, or was it because they wanted him to move out?
I think it was that the Israelites were promised to that land, and
Yeah,
they
and
were there.
Goliath and his people, his army was going to take it.
Yeah. I don't know if they were actually already there occupying it or what. I think
I
they were.
we were well maybe, but I thought that they had moved in or threatening to take over the whole land, so they were making a march towards the city.
That would make sense to me.
And then David just happened to be there when
Was
Saul
actually
and all of them were heading out. They had to actually go out onto the battlefield. David just happened to be there because he was a music maker for King Saul.
Now the question would be: were the Philistines all Nephilim?
That's a good question. We should
Okay.
I
ask.
know I did the pendulum on Goliath as to whether or not he was Nephilim, and the answer came back yes.
Okay,
Okay, he was Nephilim. Okay.
let's see.
What was the question, Dennis?
Were
If
all
all
the Philistines Nephilim?
Yeah, because it seems like pretty much the majority every time in the Bible it brings up the Philistines, they're always the enemy.
I'm getting a strong yes on that.
Yep. Yep. It was like a warrior army because that shows me that's what they are. They're just a warrior army. It's just like a whole league of them. Oh,
Legion. We
yeah.
are Legion.
Very enlightened though with the hangman. Very enlightened. I'm sure they did have a lot of knowledge. Always trying to take people's land. Yeah.
Nephilim.
Okay. All right. So that confirms that they were Nephilim. All right. According to Spirit. All right. Now, Dennis, did you do any more digging on the origins of where these angels came from?
You know, there is not a whole lot out there.
There's not.
I only got a smidgen. And there's some confusion, especially with the Ark of the Covenant,
Okay.
because
Okay.
on the top of the mercy seat is supposed to be cherubim.
Yes.
From what I was hearing and seeing on what I was studying,
Mm-hmm.
the cherubim are supposed to be what? They are the ones that they were the first of the angels that were created.
Yeah, aren't they the
They
ones
had
who,
4 faces,
yeah,
but
the
the
people who
cherubs
had-
on the cherubim on top of the mercy seat do not have 4 faces.
exactly. I studied that too because it's supposed to be multi. It's got a face of a lion, a face of an eagle. Plus,
Right.
they had eyes all over them. And
Right.
from all of the pictures or studies that we have seen the ark, those angels just like 2 guardians with the wings up on either side, but it's not
Right.
all of that. It's just a
Right.
simple head that looks very humanoid.
Yeah, that was my confusion.
And I
Let's see.
studied, there's a saint that wrote a book. St. Thomas Augustine, I think, wrote a book. They call it the Studies of the Summa. And he wrote about the angels, and it was his. Well, I took this with a grain of salt because he worked for the church. But he was saying that all angels were created all at once, instantaneously, before anything was created, which we did talk about that when the
Right.
earth was void, and it was all instantaneous. But the way he talked, that's the only time angels were made. They do not continue to get made. And I'm like, I'm not buying that either.
No.
No, if the creator, all he has to do is think
Yeah.
of creation, it's instantaneous, and that's probably why we have so many angels out there. He keeps thinking about them.
I know.
Yes, I know.
My kids need more help down there.
Oh, well, darn! I just didn't think about it that way.
Don't think. Anyway, they said that I read that God made angels before the universe. It's in Job 38,
Right.
and it was
Right.
appointed tasks to serve people.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only to serve people. I think it's also to oversee, because he also created the Watchers, which were angels. I think
Yeah.
they were angels, or were they other beings?
Well, they were
Like-
angels that were supposed to guide humans, but I don't know where the sins came from. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Where the what came from?
Sins. If you got lust or jealousy or pride that the fallen angels had, where did that come from?
Well, we wanted to know why Lucifer had those feelings about jealousy and anger even before all that happened.
Yeah.
So where did that come from? And
Well,
then,
it had to have come from even man itself. When Adam was first created, was the breath of life, which is all the emotions and all the knowledge. I would assume that
well,
came from the Creator.
so if angels had the same thing, we do know that angels have the same free will as we do. So does that mean they
Right.
have the same emotions, and both negative and positive?
I can only assume that the angels are also fractals of the
Mhm.
Creator.
Yes, they
Well,
are.
yeah, we pulled cards on that last week, and it was true. Yeah.
But I'm trying to look where I found that angels have no sexuality.
No,
All
they
right.
don't. There's no male
then-
or female.
yeah.
Right.
So how did they have lust? How did they?
Good question.
Well, look at the positive ones. Now, we don't ever hear about them because they stay pure and of the divine.
Okay.
But when it comes to, they're not supposed to have masculine or female, or it's supposed to be a really good balance of both.
Yes.
But when I've seen or experienced anything, Michael is very much masculine. But I've also seen females that are very, very soft, and you can tell they have feminine qualities. Maybe not like breast or something like that, but there's just something about them you can tell it's female. But then you've got, so if they use those references that angels are neither male or female, what if they're just talking about the Ophanum or the cherubim, because they have all these weird heads and eyeballs, and they don't, like the Ophanum is actually just this, it means wheel. So it's
Wheel
like a
within
wheel
a
with
wheel, yeah.
eyeballs. I can understand that not being male or female.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not that they didn't have a male or female. It's that it said Jesus said that angels don't marry each other. They don't have like a husband, wife,
So they
children.
don't have a desire to
Maybe
find
it's they have male or female in them, but they do not have reproductive organs.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Obviously,
now, how did?
Go ahead, honey.
Go ahead, Jen.
I know where you're going with that, and the only thing I can think of is if they take a host.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, but That's nice.
The lust is still there, but they can't do anything about it in the angelic realm. And the only way they can do it on Earth is if they take a host.
So possessing someone?
Yes.
That's even worse.
I know.
Yeah. Wow. But then and then if they're taking away someone else's free will, because if you possess someone, that person. Now here's some more controversy. You can't really get a possession.
Oh, thank you.
You can't really be possessed unless you give consent. But I've also heard stories of people getting possessed that, they don't even know that it's happening to them.
Yes.
I wonder if it's just a very weak soul, or it's not spiritually connected and they're just vulnerable. Or do they just do this to NPCs?
Well, then
That's a possibility.
Where did NPCs come from? That's another question. But no, I think they came as angels with their wings. I mean, if I was the father of a daughter and said, I'm going to offer my daughter to an angel, it's an honor.
Well, they also looked at them as they were demigods. They were godly to them.
And what comes to mind with that, even before the flood, was Noah. Because Noah himself was far different from any human at that time, or human looking.
Okay, well, because of for the flood, why did they have the flood? They said that they converted the women who slept with the watcher angels into sirens.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, half bird, half women. Now they also supposedly by lore myth, the sirens still seduced sailors a long time ago, and had children, and those were going to be considered demons. Or what was the other word? I'm trying to find the other word they said.
That's almost very similar to here in the folklore. Now at this point, I don't even know if it's folklore, where mermaids or mer people out in the sea would sing these songs to lure sailors in and then take them over, that it was very, very evil. But I also understand there's very good positive mer people. So,
well, that's what I thought.
Free will.
That's what I thought the sirens were. I thought the sirens were those mermaids who would sing and lull them. But they said they were half.
Where would the mermaids have come from?
Well, I mean, they were all made differently.
Well, if you think about it, there's still oceans under our oceans. We don't know what kind of portals are down there. We haven't, at least they're keeping the information from us.
Yeah. So these sirens seduced men, became pregnant. The males would become demons, and the women would seduce to have. It's almost like repopulating. Yeah, keep the cycle going. Now, the biggest one, maybe it might have you come to your memory, Lilith, Dennis.
He's like, really, you going to bring that up? Okay.
Really? I made my mistake once, all right? I never made it again, and you still keep bringing it up.
Poke the bear, poke the bear. Okay.
Well, the thing that was interested with this was they said she may be one demon or a bunch of demons, and the reason she was Adam's first wife. It was because she was made.
French, but she was a real bitch. Okay.
See, I never saw that word in the French language. But that's
okay.
Okay, but it was she was yeah, I know. She was made from clay, and Eve was made from Adam's rib. This is what was said. I'm just saying what was said. The thing is, she seduced an archangel Samuel, which became his wife and bore a child, Asmodeus. And I thought that was amazing, that Asmodeus, and then there's a song, Amadeus, Amadeus.
Mozart.
Yes. So that was one rabbit hole that I thought very interesting.
We've gone from angels to Mozart. Very interesting.
Well, I
Well,
mean, then you think about what type
that's
of
such a
frequency it
fuck.
was. Yeah,
I
but
was
what
gonna
type of
say,
frequency was he playing?
right.
All right. So
Hmm.
from Lilith, supposedly, I guess you and Eve had
And again.
a breakup, Dennis, and then she seduced you again, which then had a child named Nama.
I'm just a
You
man.
remember her?
You know, I'm just a man.
What was this? The first official love triangle?
I know, and then that gets to me, and then that's adultery. So, I mean, no wonder he wrote the commandments. The angels couldn't even understand
Okay.
it.
Wow.
Was
So, I
there
mean,
marriage before Adam and Eve?
well, isn't it a union if she's part of you?
I wouldn't think so in the traditional sense that we think of marriage. It's not like a governmental piece of paper that says you are. It's just in the eyes of God. I know a lot of people are automatically married because they've just been together all their life. So probably in the eyes of God that you're just a couple. But in the
A couple of
traditional
what?
governmental sense, no, I don't think so. But I don't know. Was it the whole point that Adam could take multiple wives? That's still
At
a
that
cultural
time,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
He
yes,
only had
because
two.
even further down,
That's
if
one
you
of
get
Dennis's
to
favorite memories.
like Jacob, he had his own
Yeah,
harem.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
And
you didn't
the
have a
whole
good choice selection, Dennis.
Hey, what can I say? I was not made perfect. I don't know why. What was his thinking? I should have been, but I wasn't.
oh gosh, I still laugh to this day of the story of Adam and Eve that we're aware of. When God came to the garden after they had partaked in the fruit tasting, and our Creator says, "Adam, where you at?" He didn't go after Eve. He went after Adam.
Yeah, I
Adam, where you
know.
at? What'd you
Well,
do?
why
What'd you bring?
me?
And what was the first
Am
thing?
I my wife's keeper?
Well, yes, you were technically supposed to protect her and you failed to do it, but I just thought it was ironic. The first thing out of Adam's mouth was, "It's that woman you gave me." She's the
Well,
one
there
that
you
did it.
go.
And he goes, "You only had one job."
One job. Whew. Oh my goodness. And what can I say, Creator? I'm already henpecked. You created the chicken. Now you get this.
Well, there you go.
See?
Henpecked, it's a good word.
Oh gosh.
Well,
Okay.
last thing, she did leave. Lilith left Eden, so there had to be civilization outside of Eden.
Well, I
Yes.
still go to the question, what happened to Lilith? Where did she go? Was she destroyed? Was she
You're
turned into...
freezing.
Oh, am I?
No, not on mine.
Oh.
No, it's me. It's me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's you. You're cold as ice. It just runs through
I
your
got jealous.
veins.
I got jealous of Lilith.
Oh, goodness. Well, yeah, like where did Lilith go? Was she destroyed and now she's this combination of multiple evil spirits together, as we would call legion or something like that? Or did she walk the earth for a while?
What's that saying goes? Fury has no. There is no fury like a woman scorned, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that'll be on next week's.
Hell hath no fury
Like a woman scorned.
like a woman scorned. Yes, indeed. I know that feeling. Yep.
Ooh. Well,
Well, that's all I have right now for that side.
okay.
What's
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just not a lot of information. The information that is out there can still turn into be controversial. So
yeah, and confusing.
and now there's modern day sightings of giants to this day that are coming up out of Middle Earth.
Right.
And
Afghanistan is one.
Many of the caves, people are really, and Ireland is a big place as well.
Okay.
It's all over the world that they're coming up out, and they will actually peek out to sea. You can see them standing on mountaintops for miles away. They're that big.
I wonder if that's why the Bigfoot or Sasquatch are out there protecting portals.
Yeah, I always we did readings on Sasquatch, and it was that they were good. They were positive because they were guarding portals that are out in these massive national forests and things like that.
And I'm
Especially
wondering if these portals are coming are going in and out to Middle Earth, and that's where all the giants were.
Well, okay,
So they're
here I have.
protecting those portals from the giants.
Okay, I have this question. It said that God and the angels bound Samuelson and Azazel for 70 generations. Are
Mhm.
we in the 70 generation?
yes.
Well, oh
So
yeah,
does that?
apparently, yeah.
Okay, so he bound the watchers in the valley. Is that where we're? Is that the valley where we're watching them come out of the mountains?
Well, I've heard reports that they're all over the place,
They
but
are.
they're the most are coming out of the Middle East, some in Africa, um, some in
And they're coming out
Canada,
of
Alaska.
caves.
Yeah, the
So
ones in Ireland, they have
I'm wondering,
reports that they actually have these stone doors. Hi, baby. Hmm?
Hi,
Hi.
little man.
Oh,
He's doing his appearance. Hi, buddy.
hi, dear Nadia. Wave. And all of our friends are in the chat. Say hi.
So, what are you wondering, Dennis?
Oh, no.
is it the portals that are in the caves? Are they only coming out in the caves, or are they coming out through different areas?
So the portal could be inside the cave, and then it opens up into our world, basically.
That could be. Yeah.
All right. Well, we could ask.
Well, yeah, we could.
So, you're asking if they're coming out of the caves, the portal in the caves.
Portals in the cave.
Yeah. Are
The
the
cave is a
giants
portal.
coming out of portals that are within caves?
Okay.
Maybe some, not all.
Interesting. There are some that are sealed up, and then there are some that are active and open. This represents the ones that are sealed and closed because they've been divinely closed. And then this
Yes.
represents the ones that they can come and back and forth. Some are open.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Dennis,
I'm
how about asking? I'm sorry, Jen.
No, I was trying to figure out who's in charge of who gets to open them and who isn't.
No. Who is on first?
What's on second?
Yeah. Who has nothing to do with it?
Well, the emperor must be on third because they pulled the emperor card, so they just represent a great leader. So
Emperor was right field. Come on now.
okay.
But, Dennis, you want to ask your pendulum? I'm seeing
Right.
they're coming through a different timeline. But go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, the King of Pentacles represents its generational. This has been going on for generations since the beginning of time. They're not just reappearing now. I just think that people are paying attention.
Different
Plus, you've
timeline.
got modern day technology where they can capture these things on film very easily now. It's not just a back page story in a newspaper somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They can hide behind a tree.
Or a mountain.
Yeah, there you go.
So what you get on that one, Dennis?
I got a yes.
Yeah.
They're coming in from Timelines, different timelines.
That's why Dennis is in his cave today. He's the keeper of that portal. Okay.
Well, hey,
He's a
that's why I'm
giant.
supposed to be
Why?
here.
He's trying to figure out which key to close that cave.
I lost my key. I think Joe's got it.
I just read 17, Dragonfly 17. She had a comment. People in West Virginia found Nephilim bones. Government came in and took them. Yes, the city I just came from in West Virginia, they had the mounds and they had Nephilim bones there. Government came in, sealed it up, took them all, covered it back up,
Underneath
slapped some black cap on
Smithsonian
it, and said there was
Institute.
nothing to see here.
You know how many? That's not even new. That's not even a new thing. That's been going on for some time.
Smithsonian is just like the Vatican. They're hiding everything underground.
Exactly.
If they're not destroying it.
I wonder if the Vatican is in control of the Smithsonian.
Well, I'm sure. Well, if it's not them, it's the families. The achoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they may have it in their brains that if they just, extracted DNA from these things or something and they injected themselves with it, they could become godlike. You never know what the crazy people are thinking.
No, but not just that. Think about the movie Jurassic Park. Let's get the DNA and make it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recreate them. Well, apparently it looks like they never even went away. We just haven't really paid attention. DHP had a good question in the chat. It says, so is that the origin of the word caveman? The giants coming in and out of the caves.
Oh, I thought Dennis. Dennis is a caveman.
Well, I'm thinking. Caveman isn't it the first mankind were living in caves? The what word thing? Not Homo sapiens, but before Cro-Magnons or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey Jen, can you check 3-card spread or yes and no?
Sure.
Are these Nephilim that are coming up? Are they enlightened?
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to introduce my yes. Love you. Love you too.
Love you, Abe.
It ran away because he doesn't want me to introduce him.
It's like, no.
I get a yes on that.
Ooh. Wow. Very much so. High Priestess and Sun card.
So that totally changes the purpose of a Nephilim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if you come to think about it, if we're in a universe of duality, you're going to have good and bad.
Well, I kept going and I'm like, okay, well, if they're enlightened, then what is the problem other than freaking out humanity? Why they can't come forth? Maybe they could help humanity because they're under strict rules. They can't. They are left out in the cold because their world came crashing down. It could, when this also represents, it would create utter chaos at that point.
You shall not pass.
Oh boy. He's going to get his staff out.
I wonder if they're waiting for the trumpets.
Could be.
Oh. Or if they've already heard them and that's why they're resurfacing.
Gog Magog.
Mm.
I mean, I'm getting two different, and that's the thing we talked about, what timeline or whatever. I mean, I'm getting them to come and actually fight against the Watchers who created them. That's one.
Yeah.
And then the other side is they're waiting to finish Revelations. That's the second. I'm getting both of these at the same time.
Okay.
What do you mean as far as Gog and Magog?
Well, as far as the Nephilim, why are they appearing now?
Well, we also keep having to ask the same question: which timeline are we working on here? Which density are we in?
Which density? Yes.
Has this happened in a different density? There's just different. Every time we do this, spirit sometimes gets like, well, which one are we talking about? You or parallel or time?
Okay, so can we ask if they are here to help us on our ascension? And then we can ask the second question, are they here to finish the ones that will stay?
Okay.
Population control. Circling still. Can't make up its mind.
Well, now you know what's inside my brain.
There we go.
Hmm.
I get a yes.
They have a
They're
contract.
here to help us through the ascension.
Yeah, it's
The good ones, anyway.
yeah, and they're contracted to do it. The chariot means moving forward to help us overcome the adversities of what we have in this 3D, and it is a contract that was made. They are required to do this.
I don't know. Did they sign on the dotted line?
We all did, but we don't remember.
Yes, with their digital Amazon pen, they did. Yes.
Did we have to sign it in blood?
Put your thumbprint.
We're gonna spit in our hand, shake hands on it. So we did come to the conclusion that these giants are not Neanderthal or Cro-Magnon man. That's
No, they're not.
something
Right,
totally
right.
different.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Interesting.
Well, it does bring up a question where, well, were they here? They were here before the flood. So how did they get here from before if they weren't of the first beings created? Were they
Well,
portaled here from underneath, or different planet, or what?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ask Lee. He might know.
He might know.
He's over 6 foot, right?
He answered to me. I said, "Hey, caveman." He goes, "What?" Why don't you explain to us where these tall things? We're talking about Neanderthals and
Isn't that,
ground.
I expected that's where all the Marines came from.
Oh, wow,
Okay, hold on. Go do what you have to do, Lee.
wow.
You didn't even come back on that one.
That's funny. Oh goodness. Okay. So Nephilim are the creation of giants and human females. And then during the flood, it may have wiped out most of them, but some of them escaped and went underground. I would think the creator would know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it probably was like insurance. I have a feeling it was held for insurance, side pocket. I might need you later.
Well, true, but do we know that they were all bad?
No, I don't think they all were.
No.
And maybe those were the ones that were shown to go to safety in Middle Earth until the time was right. Because if they wanted to
That may have been the plan. I don't think that's what actually happened, because there was a giant that fought off the Marines in Afghanistan and ended up getting killed.
I heard somewhat like that.
Yeah, they did. Weren't they trying to extract a Stargate or something? And it was a giant who came.
It would not surprise me what they were trying to do.
That they were.
I think they were under the guise of looking for Osama in the caves.
You mean Tim from the CIA? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the Stargate not only in Iraq, but there was one supposedly in Afghanistan, and they had to capture, and it was a big red-headed giant, I believe. They had to capture and kill it, and there's supposedly photographs of it. So
You
Yeah,
know,
but
there was
why?
yeah, this is not the same one that they named Gilgamesh, is it?
No, I
Or
think that
the
was
one, the
late.
king, that one coffin they were showing, the giant king that was still
Yeah, but he's almost
preserved,
like he's in what do they call that? Like he's frozen or asleep.
stasis or something. Yeah,
Yeah, so he's not actually dead. So I don't know how that stuff works, but
unless they got him in a vacuum or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, you remember we talked about Sleeping Beauty being asleep like that. So is Gilgamesh the same thing?
Could be.
In that
Maybe that's how
sleep
they got
state?
well, I'm
Sleeping
not
Beauty.
kissing him, so yeah.
Maybe Gilgamesh is actually Sleeping Beauty.
Could be.
They just
But I just don't
changed
understand.
genders.
Oh, what pronoun was Gilgamesh now?
Yeah.
Um, but why? What's the point of you found a giant? We have to go and kill him. Why?
He was fighting off the Marines. Because they
Yeah.
were supposed to get something, and I believe it was another Stargate.
He was
Oh,
probably there to
protect.
guard or protect that Stargate.
Right.
And he
So
was probably one of the good ones too, I would assume, I guess.
yeah, um,
Yes, you may be right then. It
all
was
that I
all the good
think,
ones.
yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, we could always pull
Yeah.
cards on it, but
Why not?
I think that happened during when the negative were running things, and they had a very secretive purpose of going and getting these Stargates for the Achu families.
Wow.
All right, let's see.
I'm checking to see if he was there to protect the Stargate.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a strong yes.
Oh, wow. Very much so. That was his full-time job because it's a
Yeah,
job.
and he was a of the light.
Yeah.
Yep, he's the protector. Absolutely. Guarding it. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and I
Wow.
get they're giving me a little bit more.
I think with technology and AI, actually, more truth is going to come out. Actually.
Yeah.
I think it
That
all will, yeah.
that portal was to a whole different world of spirituality. Yeah, with the world and temperance. So, and everything that we were told about it didn't happen. It's to cause confusion, illusion, and all that kind of stuff. So, because that's basically a big fat lie. Well, of course, we're used to that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they took possession of those stargates, I'm just curious to know if the good guys have them now, because apparently they're portable.
Oh yeah, they do.
Can we? Oh, the good guys have them.
It has at least that one. I know there's more than one around.
Oh yeah.
And well, no. I have been told or I've heard that the TV show or the movie Stargate
Yeah.
is actually a documentary.
Yes.
It's all true.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. It's pretty interesting.
So, yeah. That it
I
goes.
might watch the
It's
TV.
not just Stargate to one world. You could put in a certain code or
If
frequency.
you know the code, and you have to have the code, a different code to come back
Yes.
to the original spot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I pulled a couple of cards on that Stargate if it's in the hands of the good ones, and it says yes, not to worry, divinely being handled. So that's good.
That would be DJT maybe. He's got
Yeah.
one at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Well, don't tell them, Dennis.
You think they don't know already?
The Mysteries of Cheyenne Mountain, the 10 Mountain Marine Division.
Yeah.
Is actually where all the secret stuff goes down, literally, but it's also portrayed that in the show Stargate. that's where they do the secret Stargate traveling, is
Right,
in that
right.
mountain.
Hmm.
Wow.
And I
Well,
know he goes off world too. So
Yes,
there you
very
go.
much so. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a
He just
yes.
has a like a transporter there. He just tells Scotty to beam him up.
Nice. Nice.
Give it all we got, Captain.
I'm going to go golfing off world. Okay.
There
All
you
right.
go.
I have
Mars.
one question, and I'm sorry if it's my ignorance, but what is canon? A lot of the Bibles or the books, they'll say, well, that wasn't canonized, so they didn't put it in the Bible. What is
The
canon?
Council of Nicaea. The Council
Oh,
of
canon
Nicaea
is Council
They're the
Nice.
ones that decided the 66
selected.
books that go into the Bible. That is considered canonized. The uncanonized book are the ones that were removed because they
The
didn't agree
lost,
with.
we call the lost books of the Bible.
Yes.
Yes, because Enoch, I think, was not canonized. Correct.
Right.
Well, now
And I
Enoch
think-
was for a while and then suddenly disappeared. I think he was originally because Enoch was still in the Jewish Bible or Jewish text for a while, even after the council, and somehow just disappeared. I guess maybe at some point.
Was it considered the original part of their Torah?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Because the Torah is supposed to be the first 5
That's
books
what
of the Bible, or like the books of Moses is what they're called, or laws of Moses. I wonder if
Yeah.
Enoch was.
Well, that's what I thought. Just like DHP canonized was Cain.
You know, I'm getting a yes on that. So it should have been
Okay.
6 books.
Interesting.
Enoch was 1.
Nadia, I saw DHP's comment. I agree. Cain,
That's what I
canonized,
thought, but I wanted to make sure.
Wow. Very true. Yeah, only approved by the cabal. And there's so many books. You can just imagine. I believe, all those missing years of Jesus that we talked about probably explained where he went, what he was learning, who his teachers were.
Well, that's why we have Dolores Cannon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Interesting author. I really love her.
Yeah, she did a remarkable job.
Okay, there is one thing that I found sticking to the origin of angels.
Okay.
In Islam, they said
Are we
God.
back to that again?
Well, I don't know if that's what the topic was supposed to be about. I always read you guys in.
A lot. So
I didn't realize that the rabbit hole went in a circle back to the original spot.
It does. It's like a gopher hole, and then they hit you on the head when you come out.
Oh.
Whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole. Yeah, it said God made angels out of light. Angels are a form of ethereal spiritual world, another dimension. Yeah.
So would you consider the reference of them being made of light as crystalline, what we are supposed to be?
Yeah, higher dimension. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've also looked into, they said originally Adam and Eve were going to be angelic, as in body type, until this, I don't know. How do you, here's weird questions that come into my head. Surprise, shocked face. If we were told that Creator put Adam to sleep to remove a rib to create Eve, were there ribs in a crystalline body if he's made of light? Because they hadn't fallen yet.
Did they have anesthesia then?
Yeah, it's called smacked on the head by the Creator. That'll knock you out. Okay.
Well, it put him to sleep, and then, and often in the text, sleep was also a word for death.
Yeah. Yeah, God killed him and then brought him back to life.
Oh my God, he put him back, and just like IKEA, what's this rib for?
What's
extra.
what I can do?
You
Wow.
know, at least the thing that he could have done was taken Lilith out of his memory. You know,
Well, she
That
left
was a
him.
lesson for him to just remember. Don't let that happen again.
There was no note to self back then.
back to
It said
circles.
it says the difference between angels and men. In Hebrews, a man is a little lower than angels. The word
Right.
holy, personality similar to God, his behavior, desires, and values. Yeah. So, well, I gotta
But
go. Someone's
angels
mowing
are
lawn, and I gotta get my dog. I'll be back.
okay.
We'll be
So,
here.
but angels are supposed to not only serve the Creator but help serve mankind.
Right.
So, are we just talking about lower on the scale, meaning
I think the ones
physical?
that are supposed to help mankind are those of the lower realms,
Okay.
the archangels and the angels, watchers,
Okay.
guides, whatever.
Okay.
And then all the other two realms are those that are specifically to do God's will.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. All the different categories of they were talking about, where did I read it? Was it Enoch? They were talking about the 9 different types, or and then
Yeah,
yeah.
there's 3 in each type.
Okay.
All right,
Now,
back.
do we know that that's always been that way? That
Are you
number?
talking about the hierarchy?
I have not come across anything that says anything different about the three realms of the angels, the hierarchy.
Okay. Oh, we have coffees. Rocco must be listening. He's texted me. He said, check your coffee page.
Oh, really?
Who's this someone? Okay.
I can't. I never could figure that out.
Figure that out. It says, curious, many saints and holy people of different religions and spirituality are documented as levitating or even flying. Is this spirituality mind over matter or a divinity we have yet to understand? Ooh.
Well, I mean, you have
Let me put my Spock face on there.
Mind over matter.
you have some people like John who ascended up to heaven with his body, correct? Or was it just his soul that ascended?
That's always been in question because they said that Paul did it as well. If Paul did it, John did it, but was it his physical flesh? Because they questioned, they weren't even sure what they were doing.
I think it was in their spirit they went up.
Okay,
They were
Ezekiel went with his body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ezekiel and not Ezekiel, Elijah and Enoch
Elijah, sorry.
ascended, physical body and all.
Yeah.
Is what we were told.
And both of those have changed their names.
And the Prophet
And they
Muhammad
became the heads of the archangels.
Mm-hmm.
and the Prophet
Metatron and Sandalphon.
Yeah, and Prophet Muhammad also ascended. That's why the Dome of the Rock is supposed to be elevated. The rock wanted to go with him, and he told it to stay.
Uh-huh.
And he ascended up in heaven, but he came back down. Now, I don't know. I mean, the Dome of the Rock, is that a proof of saying that there was an ascension if the rock is supposed to be levitating by itself?
Is it?
When I went to see it, no, I didn't see it. I saw it was cemented, and they said because many people had fear. Well, if you have fear and you don't have faith, then don't go under there to see it.
Right. Well, do you
Yeah,
remember when we studied?
knowing government like we do, I
Yeah.
would suspect that reasoning was made up.
Do you remember when we studied the Dome of the Rock and we were really getting into the frequent. We agreed that it was kind of a frequency or harmony that was about. I wonder if it had to be a certain frequency for
To stay
those things.
levitating.
I think that was
Yeah.
before my time.
That was before your time. You were still in Garden of Eden.
Yeah, I know.
Eating.
To answer since someone wanted to know if it was spirituality, mind over matter, or divinity about levitating or flying, I believe it is possible. We do have the ability to do it. So it's very strategically done to be able to go to different densities or different levels, have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You absolutely can do these things, but the ability and how to get the ability has been stolen from us because that is the thief card. Because I keep getting download that it's a frequency.
They took my red cape.
No capes.
No capes.
No capes.
That's why Trump is Batman. They took his cape.
I believe this is frequency. If you're of the light in humanity, you absolutely have this ability to do it. And I think that we're going to come back to that ability.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I hope that answers someone's question. Let's see. I'm still reading coffees. Oh, Katrina says, have a beautiful day. Thank you, Jen, Nadia, and Michael.
Thank you, Kat.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Well,
Dragonfly is Batman. I'm sorry.
Okie dokie. I'll leave that open just in case someone else pops in there. But anyway, yeah, as far as studying the origins of angels, we've done the best we could as picking apart the information we can find because, unless one just wants to show himself and tell us how this works, absolutely manifest. If you could see what I see, he's like, nope. He's not allowed to. He just stands there and goes, nope. So I don't think that we're going to be able to continue anymore on this topic just because there is nothing. We can make great guesses. We can continue to talk about Nephilim or the giants, things like that. But even that, we're going to end up hitting a dead end at some point. We can have lots of theories and ask spirit, but
do you want to do another poll, or you want to go with the second topic that the runner-up topic that was on your last poll?
Yeah, they had suggestions. Let me see if I can read them. I gotta find them here. If not, we will. We can come up with some ideas and let people vote on them. Yeah. It's hard if you get 100 different suggestions. How do you pick? So,
well, I think in the near future, probably we should talk about. We always say doing the work, but no, we really don't say what is doing the work, or how we all got to this point.
Right.
Nasty 4-letter word.
Work?
Yes. Nasty.
We don't want to.
I'm retired.
So
sorry, Jen, but think about it. The 7 dwarfs, the 7 chakras, they always went to work.
Just consider me dopey.
Hi ho, hi ho.
Yeah, so I mean, it's amazing that it's 7 chakras and 7 dwarfs. So we always have to do work.
Yep. Some of the suggestions off of that poll in the comments were on the Great Lakes, what lies beneath. Peg said, what the heck is Paul Bunyan and Babe? What did they consider Paul Bunyan a giant too?
Should we ask if Paul Bunyan was a Nephilim?
And both of them were. The Paul Bunyan and Blue were giants.
And then she said, how does Johnny Appleseed fit into the picture? Or does he? Interesting.
And what about Ichabod Crane? Is that a true story made up as a
Of Sleepy
fable?
Hollow?
Yeah.
Well, if it is, my family's probably behind it because all of my mom's side of the family is buried in Sleepy Hollow.
Off with the heads.
Yeah. Let's see. I can pull
Well,
cards to see on Paul Bunyan. We can pull cards to see if he was Nephilim or the story
that would
behind
be
it.
a short subject, I would think.
It would be. Rocco has suggested Excalibur with King Arthur.
There you
Ooh.
go.
That would be a good
There you
one.
go. That
The
would be a good one.
Hopi, Malta, Stigmata, Castles. Just pick one. That's what he said.
Just one.
The design and layout of DC aqueducts. Yeah, there's lots of ideas.
Well, I mean, there were a couple that I was interested in. One is Tartaria. Two is all the world's fairs.
Mm-hmm.
Those are connected, are they not?
Yes,
I
they
believe
are.
they are. Mm-hmm.
So, and then the mud floods, which are all connected.
Yeah, we've touched a little bit based on that, but I tell you what, there's actually a lot of pictures and proof on mud floods. So there'd be a lot of things that we could offer as visual aids to go along with it if we did tackle that one.
You know what? I have an angel question, and I'm sorry about this one. Is it too late?
No.
Okay, it relates to the timelines when we were doing Stonehenge and all that stuff. There is a line, grid line called
Ley
Michael.
line?
Yeah, ley line called St. Michael's, and everything on that ley line had the word Michael on it for the Archangel Michael.
I'm not on it. I'm sorry.
You're on the Dennis line. You got to move over to the Michael line. But I wonder if there's a special reason why Michael is consistently on this grid line.
Okay, we can pull cards. I do want to show you. I did pull on Paul Bunyan.
Okay.
That Nephilim, yes, but of the good. It's funny that there's a lot of secrets behind that story. That's hidden secrets because these are beyond the veil, different density, different realm. It's about spirituality, but absolutely they're yes cards. They're major arcana of the divine.
I'm getting there is a specific reason why Michael is on the one ley line.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you what that is. That has to be a tarot.
Oh, right. I thought you were locking it and you don't want to tell us anymore.
No, I don't want to tell you anymore. You have to find that out for yourself.
Actually, I'm trying to see if I still have a picture about those grid lines.
Hi, babe. Love you. Love you.
Bye.
Hi ho, hi ho. Back to work he goes.
Okay. Hi ho, hi ho.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do have it. I don't know.
Let's see.
Jen, if I send it to you, can you upload it? Can you show it?
Depends on how you send it to me. I have to go find it, but yeah. Let's see.
Do you want it under Messenger?
Through
yeah,
Zelle.
you can do it on that.
Okay. I'll put it under you.
That's Michael's territory.
Yeah.
The ley lines, that's his territory. This is a warrior card.
Isn't that cool?
That is his. Look at the angel card. That is for him. That's his. It's about bringing peace, keeping the peace, because that's about gift giving and reconciliation. Keeping the peace, basically. This also has to do with littles. I think this is because these cards are about littles in general, but he's guarding that area specifically to keep.
Ooh, I'm getting all the archangels have a specific ley line assigned to them.
This is so cool.
Yes, they do. That's the Ace of Cups. Wow. Absolutely, they do. Knight of Cups. There's another cup card. Yeah, they are emotionally bound to these, but they're very particular about their lines because that's like treading lightly. They watch each other's barriers very carefully, like they don't mingle. One doesn't go to the other one, so to speak.
Right.
They set boundaries. All right.
Well, that's the funny one. The one that I just sent you, Jen, it goes from England all the way to Easter Island.
All right. Let me go in and do this, see if I can get it uploaded real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see if it will load and not kick me off.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Did you send it through Western Union or what?
What was that?
Yeah.
Did you send it through Western Union or what?
No, I put a stamp on it. It should be coming there in a
Awful
couple.
slow.
Snail mail. Waiting for snail mail to come through here. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. That just popped in. Like, talk about the ley line. My brain wasn't even there. That's why I couldn't even remember the word ley line.
Yeah, I know. And you mentioned Michael, and all of a sudden I got to download, check all the ley lines that they assigned to archangels.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
All right. Let's get back over here. I can go. I don't like technology. Yes, I do. I love it. Yay.
Changing that energy. That was funny.
Yes, I do. I love it. Smile.
Smile.
All right, let's see. Bring this up. As Dennis calls it, present. Hit present. We're going to present.
That's fun.
Okay, there are 4 ley lines that are assigned to archangels.
Well, there are more archangels, though.
There are four of the ley lines, archangel ley lines, are 4 corners of the earth.
Yeah.
Did I blow that up too big?
No, it's okay. It doesn't go.
It's not big enough. I'm old.
Yeah, well, zoom the.
Interesting. So, famous ley line in Britain. Okay. The Michael and Mary line. So it's Mary too?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if this is what they call the Rose line that runs through the streets.
All the way through Europe, right?
Yeah. Which is supposed to be of... isn't it supposed to be the royal bloodline of Yeshua in Magdalene, or does it have to do with Mother Mary?
The bloodline of... It's supposed to be the bloodline of Yeshua, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I'm getting a crown chakra. It's Christ consciousness.
Okay. All right.
Wow. And it's of the past. I guess the rose line was called that in the past.
Okay.
Right.
So this ley line is also manifested in the physical because this stuff, there's markers embedded into the cobblestones and the roads. It is a physical line.
But it also has a lot of those megaliths or along the road. So those are portals, I believe. Those used to be portals.
Wow.
Okay, I have to take my glasses off. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So are a lot of these places, okay, I wonder if these have to do with those old cathedrals. This is Cadbury Castle is on that route.
Also Mount, St. Michael Mount.
Wow.
Very interesting. Yeah, it was just told, it just came down and I said, interesting.
That is interesting. Okay. Someone's not happy. They need a nap.
Okay, I'll go take a nap.
Me too.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, Jen.
Oh, goodness. All right. So what do you want to do about a topic? Do you want to move on and do you want to do the mud floods in Tartaria? Or I do think at some point that King Arthur in the Round Table would be amazing to study.
Yeah. I think, Tartaria, because wasn't it Russia's president, Putin, who opened up the maps to the public?
I believe so.
Yeah, it got put on hold a few years ago because he was going to release it all, and then he just recently did it this summer sometime, I believe.
Okay, so if we were to add that, the Tartarians, the mud floods, also the orphan trains are part of it.
Yeah, that is a huge thing. We were talking about world fairs and how it has to do with that time frame. Do you remember hearing the stories at the world fairs with the incubator babies?
Yes.
And they had a lot of different displays, including, I guess you would probably call it this weird circus nowadays, but they even had alien species, whether it's formaldehyde or whatever. They even had the Viril, the ones that the Black Eye Club.
Wow.
They were actually on display. I'm just curious if the sneeze families didn't want all that information getting out there, is that why the World Fair doesn't really happen the way it used to? Because I know it was free energy. Tesla did it. So there's a lot of information. We could probably combine those three subjects, World Fair, Tartaria, and mud floods, because they all go together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had those baby incubators where people could buy them.
I know. It was very strange. And some of their displays that they had, a lot of people questioned that, well, this is just a conspiracy. They made this up. Good grief. It's nap time. Okay.
Recess. I heard the alarm.
But there are still a lot of photographs out there of the things that they used to do. I watched a very interesting documentary on the World's Fair.
Yeah.
And a lot of Tesla's information and studying him and how he got that account to do the free electricity was absolutely a beautiful story. But lots of pictures. We would have a lot of visual aids to go with those topics because they still exist. I know we've studied a little bit of Tartaria before because we talked about remember the pictures of the giants that we had on those?
Yeah. But curious
of the buildings too.
Yeah, but curious to know. I did not know that it had that many World's Fairs. I mean, in France, I wonder if we mapped it, what would it show? Like there was France. I know
overlay lines.
I wonder.
Interesting.
Then that would be one of the ley lines.
Figure out when it started. I don't know the first year that they came up with the World's Fair.
You don't remember what?
The first year that they started with the World's Fair. I don't remember.
I'm trying to. Like 1930.
Was it like 1901 or something like that?
Turn of the century, Revolutionary War.
Was it Chicago?
Yeah, it was Chicago.
Yeah.
I have it in my other notebook. This is my angel notebook.
Well, I'm curious to know if these locations, not only you said we could map it out, who gets to choose where the World Fair is? Just like, they battle that out every 4 years of who gets to host the Olympics.
The top 13 families.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because of the nefarious things that are probably going on behind the scenes or underground.
Well, any big city that's got underground tunnels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I want to know. Because yes, they did use Chicago free energy, but then it became nefarious. So was the nefarious started during the World Fair? Is that when they did the takeover? We don't know any of that stuff.
True. Well, we can study it and we can see if our Rocco wants to jump in and we can start tackling it. Since we've already done some work on Tartaria, it won't be too hard to go down and look for stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, at least that has a lot of pictures and evidence, even links to videos of where it's been filmed with the mud floods. There's
And
actually,
information.
yeah,
Because
one of the
angels,
one of the most common things with the mud floods is if you look around the world of the buildings that have windows that are like half covered up from the basement down, it looks like, but that used to be above ground, if that makes sense. And that's how devastating it was. Washington, D.C., people don't understand that the Capitol building, the way it sits, there's that much of more building underneath. Yeah. That people just do not see. So if that's a topic we want to jump into next week, I don't think we can get any further with the angel stuff because it's just
I don't know how much further we can get in with our terrier personally, but I'm willing to
true.
go wherever.
We could work on World's Fair, but I like the idea of King Arthur.
Oh, Russ has got a good one there.
what was that?
First World's Fair was in London's Hyde Park in 1851.
Wow.
Dragonfly 17 said one was 1700s. 17.
Really?
One?
Yeah. Well, she put
Is it on
17.
the same timeline? 1791?
We're gonna ask that.
Well,
now I have to. Oh, well, I can throw another curveball if you'd like.
Oh, thank you.
of course you will.
Great, I'm winding it up. Here we go. It goes this way. Ready? Here it comes. Here it comes.
All right.
Ethiopia.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I can see it. All right. Well, how about we'll get a hold of Rocco when he's free, and we'll pick his brain, see what he thinks, and I think we'll get to all of them eventually. It's just trying to, and eventually we'll probably bounce back into Revelation, but we'll jump around. We'll talk to Rocco off camera and see what he wants to do too. So, in the meantime, that's about all we've got on angels, and I mean, you can't really apologize. There's just not.
Yeah,
This
and
guy behind me
unfortunately,
doesn't
there's
want to
just not a
manifest
whole lot
himself.
out there.
Yeah,
There
there's
seems
not.
like there's a whole lot out there, but there's really, I mean, it all basically the same thing.
Well,
Yeah, and
it's
if
also opinionated. It's controversial. It's someone's interpretation. If we could just get Adam here to remember.
well, he was busy. He
Yeah.
was busy.
Well, if we just did one show was strictly asking questions about angels or answering questions about angels, that might help too.
Well, we can do that Friday. We can if anybody has
Just make
questions.
sure, just make sure it's only the one topic, angels. Anything to deal with angels.
Strict rules, only angel questions.
No, I'll bet you we'll probably come up with some more interesting facts along the way.
It only takes one good question from somebody, and we will go down a rabbit hole and have 20 questions.
You know it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Alice's in here.
All right. I did see Russ made a comment that Nadia needs a coffee page. Nadia,
yes,
you
she
consider
does.
making a coffee page so we can throw you in there?
No, it's okay. Thank you. These two hardworking people really need it. You not need it, but do the hard work for it. I just throw questions out. That's it.
You do hard work too. You do research.
I
you help
enjoy
people. I agree on the coffee page. You're so stubborn. Anyway,
I'm a Taurus.
I'm with Libby.
Shocked face.
Voting yes on the King Arthur bit.
Oh, King. Okay, well, we could do King Arthur. Okay.
All right. We'll toss it around in our little off-camera group, and we'll discuss it.
Okay,
Other than that,
I'm going to lose a lot of nights on that one.
Really?
Oh, yeah, lots of rabbit holes.
Really? Seriously? Are you considered the lady in the lake?
We will find out. We
We
will.
have
You-
some
You
questions that came
siren,
in.
you.
Thank you, Moon, for pointing out that I have questions on the coffee page. All right.
Oh,
DHP. So we have our 7 chakras. Nadia just mentioned them, and this popped into my head. So are the 7 deadly sins made by the dark to counter the 7 chakras?
Ooh.
It's a very interesting way of putting it. Have you noticed that whether it's dark or it's always the number 7? It seems to be that's a 7, 12, 24, 3. It's very fascinating.
well, it's a both yes and no answer. For ascension, you work from the basic up, and the deadly sins make you go from the up
You
down.
lower your vibration.
So it depends on where you put your thought pattern to.
What's your intent?
What's your intent? Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. DHP, the answer is yes, absolutely. This is about moving in an opposite direction as well. Quickly lowering. There's lots of secret. They don't tell you that, though. That's a secret. Of course not.
And it's also when you move from your head down, when you move from the crown down, there's a lot of brainwashing, a lot of instilling into the thought pattern, which affects even your solar plexus, your navel chakra for security, your stability of your base chakra. So it does, if you think of the deadly sins, you start losing balance.
True. And I also pulled the judgment card. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You're quickly moving towards judgment if we go that route. But the answer is yes, absolutely. So 7 deadly sins are basically to counter the 7 good positive chakras. Just depends. So that chart that you use, Nadia, that has our frequency and what level we're at, like love or anger. So with the 7 deadly sins, would they have their own chart, or would it go by the same thing?
It will go by the frequency. Okay, so the frequency. If you start focusing on the 7 deadly sins, you're lowering your vibration from unconditional love or enlightenment, which is the highest, and you're going to go down to shame, fear, guilt, which is the lowest. So if you focus on those, you're at a very low frequency, because the lowest one is shame, fear, guilt. So if I suffer with the 7 deadly sins, one of the 7 deadly sins, I will lower my frequency. Does that make sense?
Well, this is why the Sneeze family and all governments around the world want to have fear. They control people with fear. And if that's the lowest we can get, we cannot raise our frequency and vibration up in order to overtake them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Believe it or not,
they're not stupid. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, they've studied this before anybody else has studied it, because it's been since
because they have all the secrets.
They have all, but the shame, fear, and guilt, which that's what they try doing with the jab and all that stuff. If you don't have it, you're going to kill us all and all that stuff to keep us down. But if you even try to raise your frequency to anger, which most of us who woke up became angry because we were lied to, you just raised your frequency. And then pride, even though pride is, I think, a sin, but this is a different type of pride. This is it's not a pride of myself, but it's a pride of us as a society or as a group. So you start going higher until you get to unconditional love.
Right.
Yeah. Even neutrality.
So frequency is it's like a rung on a ladder. You just keep getting up there.
However, every moment of your life, you're going like this. You're not staying in that position unless you continue to work that way.
Depends on the situation that you're going through.
There's no flat line.
All right. Thank you, Jojo. I got it, sweetie. Thank you. And Terry had a question. If Sasquatch protect portals, does that mean if one is sighted, there's a portal in the general area? I would think so, but let's ask.
Yes.
If one is sighted.
I don't think
If
they can wander too far from
too
where
far,
their portal is that they're supposed to be guarding.
right. Well, it's getting more common that people are seeing full Sasquatch families in areas. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just one random one, they're seeing whole families. Absolutely, Terry. The answer is yes. Absolutely, in the general area. Now, this is a good thing because they're also there to protect humanity. They are not evil creatures that are going to kill you like some wild big bear. They are
Well,
there.
now
Even
there
when
are
they,
some that will, but most of them are not.
yeah,
Native
well,
Americans use them, or they see them as guardians, basically.
yes.
Well, they
Yep.
are also protecting the portal, but don't you think, and off-worlders also. So if people think they're going to go and find a portal because a Sasquatch is there, you got other people, guarding that
Oh,
portal.
yeah, but the justice card, that's not only protecting and serving justice. If somebody negative tries to go in and out of those portals, justice is served very quickly. I
Mhm.
wouldn't go hunting for one if that's what anybody's thinking.
There are some that are out there doing that, but
Wow.
they have the ability to cloak themselves.
They can cloak, and the portals are 9 times out of 10 are cloaked. You don't even see them anyway.
Right.
So, but places like Mount Shasta, good and bad things have happened there, and they will see loved ones or testimony that they've just walked in. Once they got so far up a trail, they just all of a sudden walked into a different dimension. It's not like you see it coming and jump in. It's not a Stargate. A portal is something totally different, just like a wormhole. There's differences,
Mhm.
good and bad.
I'm wondering whether or not all the national parks, federal national parks in the United States, all have portals or not.
Well,
Is
we
that
could do a
why
yes. We could do a
Theodore
yes or
Roosevelt named them or gave them federal protection?
and gave them so many laws and what people they can only go so far into them, and there's just certain things because there's lots of secrets.
Well, there's one that
Just
I
like the
just
Grand Canyon.
I saw this thing this morning in Oregon. They have a Masonic cave, and you can go very, very far in. Jen, would you consider that being also a portal? It's a Masonic cave in Oregon.
Yes.
So
Well, it can be a portal, but can also be a place for sacrifice and things like
yeah,
that
but
too.
you think that the negative had that portal? I know. It felt like it was closed now, but I wonder if they use that as a negative portal.
All right, let's see.
Oh, wow!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got a download. That was nice. Thank you.
Yep.
Yep. And I believe this portal goes to the French catacombs.
Which go on for miles and miles.
Yeah, that's what I just got, the catacombs.
Yes. Wow. Okay, well, that's good to know. Tells me that they're destroying them. Okay.
Yeah, it's destroyed. I felt like it was closed off, but
yeah, the tarot card, they've been destroyed. But yeah, absolutely. They are connected. They're all connected. I do agree with what Dennis said about the Grand Canyon. There's a reason that they won't let you down in certain areas of those too.
Yeah.
And that's one of the locations where people have seen giants come up out of the big openings in the side of the canyons. They've been spotted there too, coming out and taking a peek. And they don't let, let's just say, the people that are taking the trails or traveling through it, tourists or whatever, you're not allowed to go down there. Even when the Colorado River is running and they use it for rapids, and that they tell you that it's because you could drown, which I'm sure that weather is an issue, but they use excuses to keep you out of it. But there's also a lot of hieroglyphics in there There's been explorers that were 100, 200 years ago that went in and found Egyptian carvings. Sarcophagus is there. Lots of different hidden secrets of the Grand Canyon.
Well, the Grand Canyon, I heard there was certain parts were closed off by one of the family members of the 13 because there's so much gold in there.
Oh yeah, heard that too. There was a lot
not
found
anymore,
in
I'm
the.
sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wasn't it a Rothschild?
Rothschilds are the family of the United States, yeah.
Okay.
Or Rockefellers, not Rothschilds.
Yeah,
Rockefellers.
I wasn't going to say the names, but since you said that.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying the names, just the whatever the collective they're tied to.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, that's it for the coffees. And
do we have any on the
I want a tea and crumpet page.
team? What?
Tea and crumpets.
Tea and crumpets.
Do you?
Tea and crumpets.
I do.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it. We'll close out the origins of angels because we did what we could. At least we thought outside the box. They went down a different rabbit hole with the Nephilim and that kind of stuff. But THP, the Crockefellers. Okay, the Crockefellers.
Or the Crockefellers.
Well, I will let
Friday
you.
Night, yeah, Friday night we'll do Roundtable if you guys are free. It depends on who's karaoke and.
I'm not free. I'm really not that cheap, but I'll be around.
We'll make sure that tea and crumpet page is up on and listed so you can get your tea and crumpets for the weekend.
Well, how about if I say as long as I have sovereignty, I am free. So
there you go.
Okay. But we'll do that normal time, 7 p.m. No tornadoes predicted this week, so that's good.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and if anybody has an angel question, we'll answer those on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try to stick to the subject at hand. If it doesn't, and everybody's sitting and twiddling their thumbs at that point. Yeah.
It may become a potpourri.
Potpourri?
A potpourri.
Oh, gosh. All right. Thanks,
as long
guys,
as Lilith isn't anywhere around.
yeah, because we won't find Dennis then. Oh, that's why Dennis is in the cave. He wrote the Pina Colada song.
Can you imagine if they had divorce papers back then, what those would say?
Yo ho ho.
Who would be the lawyer?
I have no idea.
Oh, that'd be fun. All right. Well, at least we got down to that. We got down to that subject too. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and digging in and talking a little bit about the Nephilim and the giants, that's always interesting, especially nowadays when we're hearing about sightings of giants.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating. All right. Well, I'm going to do oracles. You two are more than welcome to stick around. If not,
nature's calling me, so I'll have to bow out.
Go outside your cave.
I have to go outside my cave.
All right.
They need a waterfall right now.
Okay, it's called Mountain Dew. Anyway, I will leave the studio, Jen. So if it's circling, I have no idea.
I'll kick you out.
Kick me
I'll
out.
kick you out. Okay. I'll give you
Bye,
a
love
kick.
you all.
I love you.
Bye.
All right. Oh, she's just twirling. All right, we're gonna give her a swift kick out of here. Can't figure out why that happens, but that's okay. All right, guys, let's do your oracles. I'll let you go, and you can enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I did pop up a couple of thumbnails. One is for Friday, just family getting together, talking, answering questions. All of us. And then Monday is Labor Day, and Lee has the day off, so I'm going to take the day off. I don't do that very often, but he doesn't get a day off very often, so I'm going to spend that day with him and have a 3-day weekend. So that's just what we're going to do. I hope y'all don't mind, but that's all right. So after Friday night show, we'll pick back up on next Wednesday for the roundtable. Okay. All right. And we'll come down to a final decision about a topic for next Wednesday. We'll pick Rocco's brain and see what he wants to do. And I'll drop something in the community page that tells you what the topic's going to be and what we agreed on and decided on. I really don't care. I just need to know what to study. That's it. We're always learning and growing no matter what the topic. All right. All right. Let's start out with our angel of abundance today. We have pay yourself first. Okay. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. Take care of yourself. It's okay to spoil yourself every once in a while, especially if you work too hard. All right. It doesn't have to be huge either. You can just whatever makes you happy. All right. Our archangel today, Archangel Sandalphon. One of the big dogs on the totem pole here. Tune into your divine potential. Bring the world into harmony. And when you receive this card, you are advised to strengthen your spiritual foundation. Call on Archangel Sandalphon to help you develop your Earth Star chakra and open up the higher potential of all your chakras by placing his 5th dimensional silver reflective bubble over you. And you have to sense it around you. Ask Archangel Sandalphon to connect you to the true notes of your divine blueprint. Wow. Okay. Well, we talked about a little bit about chakras today, and apparently Archangel Sandalphon can help you do that. Okay. Let's do, and I'm sure the guys will correct me, but I'm pretty sure that we talked about Enoch and Elijah being the ones that ascended. Enoch became Metatron. Correct me if I'm wrong, round table, that Sandalphon is Elijah. I could be mistaken. It's happened before, believe it or not. Anyway, they'll correct me. Sacred Forest Oracle today. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. It just so happens that tonight you might, if you feel the need, look up and see the big full blue moon. They're very rare, but today we have Starry Night. This is about acceptance. Embrace your inner majesty. I think Joe Biden's taking over my mouth. Heaven help me. Majesty. Accept your life in all of its configurations. Every moment has profound value, even if it doesn't seem like it. Forgive yourself and others. Accept all that life has provided, and harmony will ensue. Now, briefly on the moon tonight, it is in Pisces, which will definitely bring out high emotions, can even make you very nostalgic. But it has a good positive thing as well. It will heighten your intuitive abilities, okay? So it's not a bad thing, but it can tire you out. Just embrace it and think positive with that energy going on, okay? All right. Couple more. White Light Oracle today. We have, this is interesting, Beth Cole. And this says, all right, eschew complicated explanations. As you seek the simplicity of the deepest truth of your heart, gently but firmly cast aside that which does not resonate as being true to your heart. Focus upon and speak from a higher spiritual perspective. All prayers are answered at the perfect time and in the perfect way. You have a powerful voice which can foster healing and wisdom on our planet. Absolutely, you can. And the more positive frequencies are out there, you're manifesting beautiful, beautiful things. We'll end with our chakra oracles today. The first one that came out is Passion. Passion. All right. So this one is, this indicates creative focus and an ability to ignite the passion necessary to manifest what you desire. The power of amber is that focused emotion can create anything, for it brings the gift of emotional discipline. All righty then. The next two are of the blue section of the chakras. Okay, this one has to do with impatience. How many of us are very impatient? We're a work in progress, right? All right. And it just so happens that this color and what they're looking at, thank you, Wings. He said, put it back up there. You have to explain this. I'm like, okay. Look at the picture. It is referred to as the electric blue moon. I did not pull these deliberately. Spirit gives them to me. I shuffle them just like any other tarot deck. Electric blue moon. Your desire to create may overpower the necessity of aligning with divine timing. The time to shine will come. Move with the energy and not in front of it. Being present has its own reward. It looks like we've had a few of those in our oracles today, that it's about divine timing, not our timing. We have to be patient. Sometimes easier said than done, but that's all right. Like I said, work in progress. This one, final one for today, is our quest. All right, quest. The Navy Trail. Navy, the collar, not the military branch. Thank you to all who were in the Navy. Navy combines the blue of communication with the darkness of the unknown, allowing us to discover the truth. There is bravery here and an ability to face the truth head on. Got to deal with the truth no matter what. Sometimes truth hurts. Sometimes truth helps. Either way, truth has to be truth. Agreed. All right, guys. That is your oracles for today. I will let you go. I will see you Friday night. If you need me or you need to schedule a private reading with me, I am taking appointments right now. You can email me or text me and let me know who you are in the description box. It's all there. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of the week, actually, and I'll see you Friday night. Okie dokie. And just look for a post just when we decide what the subject will be for next week's roundtable. And we'll let you know, okay? Love and light, guys, when you need it. Blessings, blessings. Take care of yourself. Love one another. Love yourself. And have a beautiful, beautiful day. Blessings, blessings, guys. Bye-bye.